I just went out, had a Coke, and sat at the pub for like an hour, and I just thought and watched my surroundings, and not a single person talked to me. I just sat there and thought about life very carefully, noticing everything that was happening around me, all the bad language, all the terrible people. And I thought to myself, what's the better life? The fiction that I have created, or the reality in which I exist? I love Ivory with all my heart, but there's not a single girl out there that is similar to her. She's a fiction, and she will never be a reality, because girls like her don't exist. And not only that, guys like me don't exist. I am a freak of nature, but a beautiful freak of nature. If I was born a female, I would have the same problem with finding an appropriate male. Tonight, I have done some soul searching and considered my options. Should I live in reality or the fiction in which I have created for myself? I should not have cut my hair so short. It was getting annoying though. I think my base length should be to my shoulders. I don't need sex for the most part. I am asexual, so that is not a necessity in my life. Neither is a girl. Neither are friends. I can go through my life all by my lonesome and still live a great life, despite people saying the contrary. But why should I listen to other people? I made a breakthrough. I now know that Ivory is not out there. But who cares? I can still devote my life entirely to her, because she is a goddess, and I believe in her, even if she does not hold a reality. I exist, but I am a freak of nature, and a beautiful girl like Ivory cannot exist because the world would corrupt her. Even if a girl possessed the traits of Ivory, her friends and family would direct her away from that state of mind. So it is unreasonable for me to expect this girl to exist. What conditions would it take to produce an Ivory? Her family and friends reject her and she become homeless, and she spend many years searching her soul. What type of girl would do that? Going out and people watching girls with bad mouths who are fat, who are obnoxious. Ivory could never manifest because beautiful girls are conditioned by society and brought up as beautiful girls. They don't struggle with social relationships. They have everything they could ever want in this life, except me. The question came down to, do I want to find a girl in reality who I will never be happy with? Or do I want to continue giving my heart to Ivory, who does not exist, and now I know will never exist? Pandora's jar was full of evils, but hope remained. What was hope doing in a jar full of evils? Because hope is one of those evils. I dedicated my life to Ivory in 2012 at the beginning, and it's been over 14 years now, and I have had hope that she really did exist. But it took me these 14 years to realize that no, she doesn't exist, and she never will exist. So that means that I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. I can count my friends on 3 fingers, and I can count the friends that talk to me regularly on 0 fingers. The problem is me, because I am a freak of nature, a beautiful freak of nature. I got frustrated with the internet because I wasn't making many meaningful connections through it. So I wanted to stop and develop connections in the real world. But that doesn't work either, because, like I keep saying, I am a freak of nature. I am going to embrace my isolation and be happy with the life that I created for myself. The fictional life that I live online. That is my life. I really hate it when other people try and give me advice, because their advice is always so terrible, and they try to make me feel bad about my current life and try to get me to be who I'm not. Other people just don't understand, but they don't want to understand. But I don't care, because I don't want to understand them either. I'll just spend the rest of my life learning and teaching mythology through love letters to the fictional Ivory, which most people have a problem with, but I don't care what they think. I have done the soul searching. I am doing the best thing for my soul. Other people don't know what they're talking about, because they don't live the life in which I live. I'm just going to have fun with YouTube and post as little or as much as I desire. Sometimes I might not post for a while, and that is usually because I am in learning mode. It takes a while being able to relate these stories with the human condition and the life in which we actually live. And sometimes I work on songs that take a while to memorize, or lyrics that take a while to memorize, or something like that. Or maybe I just don't want to post for a while, maybe I am depressed because I'm alone. But every time that happens, eventually I realize it's for the best. The fiction is much better than the reality. I am just going to continue to spend my life loving Ivory, who doesn't or will not ever exist. Who cares? I become the best version of myself by devoting myself to her, and I produce the best work by it being for her. So, really, what am I doing wrong? Just because this person doesn't or will not exist doesn't mean anything. I can still live an amazing life producing great amounts of amazing work in Ivory's name. I can live in the mythology that I created for myself. And this is a much better world than the one physically available to me. I don't need fake friends who criticize my lifestyle. I really don't need friends at all. All I need is Ivory. The fiction is good enough for me. The fiction, Ivory, is much better than the reality, not Ivory. I'm in love with Ivory. I have grown closer and closer to her for every day for the past 15 years almost now. Me and Ivory are like this because she is just my reflection. So if you want to tell me how terrible my life is and how I'm messing everything up and how I don't comprehend the truth and reality, then please tell it to the wall, because I'm not going to listen to you, because I've heard it all before, time and time and time again, and all of you people's advice is terrible. Bad advice! Bad advice! If you want to give me advice, go get a philosophy degree, and afterwards I may listen to you. The world is full of terrible people, and I'm glad that I'm not one of them. I'm not one of these worldly people. Your preconceptions might say that I live a terrible life, but you are judging based on your own values, and you don't have very good values. I apologize for my aggression, but over the last month, people have constantly told me that I live a terrible life and I need to get out and the internet's not real and I'm living a fiction and things like that. And it gets to me because I'm doing the best I can and I'm doing awesome and no one can see it because everybody's blind. Like, the world is so stupid. I live in the stupidest. I am happy by myself, and anyone that wants to criticize my actions can get out of my life. I've kind of strayed from the purpose of this video, which was to point out that the fiction which I exist within is much better than the reality out there. So I'm going to continue my fiction with the fictional Ivory and the real you. Because no matter how much of a fiction this is that I've created for myself, you are real. And even if there's only a few of you who care, that's still a few who care. That's pretty cool, because most of my life, no one has cared. And if you care, that makes you pretty cool. Which means I should make more work for you. And I should continue to devote myself to YouTube and Ivory and Mythology and continue the fictional life that I have created for myself. I appreciate your attention span. Until next time, this is Wendell, signing off.